So this is my week 8 evaluation. So it's all done. I've completed my performance now. And it went well actually. It went a lot better than expected, to be fair. But you know, this week was intense though. It was very intense because we still didn't get the chance to do a full run through on stage because our performance was on Friday. Thursday was the year one's performance, so their staging was still there and we couldn't really just take it down because they had very intense staging. But yeah, so this week was just constant run-throughs. It was just running, going over the fight scenes and stuff, you know, just making sure every health and safety precaution I could take, just making sure that everyone's safe and everything for the choreographed sequence mainly. Again, then we just did run-throughs after run-throughs, tying up like just little loose ends and little gaps, making sure all the transitions are smooth and everything like that. And yeah, and it was just constant stuff. And then on Friday, the day of our performance, we did our first ever tech run, first ever run through on stage, and everything, and it was stress. It was stress. Because we never did a full run through with the lights, the sound, and everything on stage. We only did it on the actual performance. And I'm gutted that it was like that because I feel like we could have, I still believe that we could have done this, which was a lot stronger, but in my opinion, I don't know, it was something that I need, to be fair, it's something from my side. I feel like I wish we could have completed everything earlier so we could do it on stage and everything, so we could just really be nitpicky about every slight detail we could possibly imagine. But that's what I mean. But in all fairness, I feel like the performance did go well though. It did go really well. But yeah, you know, this week was just heads down, get the work done really. It was just really just making sure we had everything set on the sides and making sure everyone had the props that they needed, knew what side they were coming from, knew how they were gonna travel to their wings, if they had to travel through the back of the stage or not, and all that stuff. So you know, like me myself, I made sure all of those things. I took the role of like stage management as well, so making sure all the set was on the right sides and everything. Yeah, everything was on the right sides. People were set, ready, and everything during rehearsals and stuff, and you know, just all those little things that I just took upon myself. And yeah, for me, it went smooth. It did go smooth. There wasn't really any problems, except that I got kneed in the head because that was why during this week I went over the safety precautions because of situations like this could happen. So it's important that if you're going to do a certain movement, you place yourself in the right position and you do everything according to the way it's meant to be. So originally, for example, my character gets kneed in the head by James. So for what I told Dom was he has to grab my head and then that will give me the cue. What the problem was that happened was that instead of grabbing my head, he grabbed my neck. So I didn't have the free movement to put my hand in front, because that's what I'll naturally do, because I'll do so I'll create the motion, but I'll tap my hand so it makes it seem like I've just done the connection. So I ended up getting kneed in the head, which caused me to have a concussion. So I had to do a performance whilst having a concussion, which wasn't the best. But, I just had to take a little bit of a moment. And what I did, before the performance, I took Don to the side and then I worked with him. I was like, make sure you grab my head, not my neck, you grab my head. Because if he grabs me here, I can then put my hands under his arms. So I don't have my pathway to barricade myself is free. You know what I mean? That space is free. I can put my hands there. Because if he puts on his neck, his elbows are low, my hands can get blocked and sort of stops me from being able to defend myself. So obviously that was something that we did. So, it was all good though. We managed to sort it out. Another problem we faced really was that the projector, it needed to be quite a big distance away from the screen, because the screen wasn't big enough to have it that close than we had that I planned. So that did cause a bit of a stressful moment, because our performance was literally a couple of hours away. But what we did do, we decided to put it right into the front. So in the first row of the stalls, no audience will sit there. So whenever we allocated certain people that they will come on stage, and they will just click play onto the laptop that we were using. I had the footage. We had something that would just cover the lens, so just to have it blacked out, but so we wouldn't turn it off. Because having to turn off and turn it on the projector would have been a longer process and would have caused a little bit of a problem. So we decided to put a thick cup that would go, not a see-through one, in front of the lens of the projector, so it wouldn't project out. So it would just be blocked. So it'd just be blacked out. But that was something that we actually solved that one quite quickly. So we just allocated people to do those kind of stuff. So we ran out of we had no fake cigarettes, because somehow someone accidentally threw them away. And the thing is, we needed it for a specific scene, and that caused a bit of a nightmare, because those fake cigarettes because if you blow into them, it will create a smoke, or powder will come out, but it looks like it's smoke. And then the way it had this foil thing, which was red and stuff, but with the lighting, it looks like it's lit up. It looks like a lit cigarette, because then in James's character, he ashes it on his skin. So we ended up having to use a real cigarette, but we couldn't light it up. So you couldn't actually smoke. You couldn't smoke it inside because of the rules and everything, and we would have to pay to have a license to do that, to smoke on stage. So, because we didn't have one, he had to just fake had to fake that he was smoking. He actually in his skin, which is a bit disappointing because if we was allowed, an idea that we could have used, because I had the idea of using special effects wax, put it on the skin, and then blend it in so it has the same skin tone. Because this will after to allow him to ash the cigarette on his actual skin, but it won't be his actual skin, it'll be on the wax. Because I tested it out and everything before my pass, and during the very beginning of the process, I tested it out, and it worked perfectly fine. I wasn't damaged. I didn't hurt myself because I tested it out on paper first, and a very, very, very light piece of sheet, to see if there was any burnt, if it will burn through the wax or anything like that. Nah. So long as there's a specific amount of the wax that's on your skin, it allows the person to do it essentially. But yeah. All these problems were something that we were able to solve quite quickly, so we didn't waste too much time or anything like that. Practical skills wise, I've learned that I can take a hit. No, I'm joking. No, but I've learned that, you know, my management skills. I know it's not a practical skill, but when it comes to making sure things are in the right place, in the right position, and stuff like that, I feel like that's something that I've discovered really about myself, because I touched upon it like before, but you know, I made sure that everything was in the right place, that you know, everyone else up in the box had the list, had the script as well, so they knew what point we were at and everything, and you know, all of those minor little details I made sure were, you know, clear. Like the passageway that we used to go from stage left to right from the back, make sure that making sure that was clean. There was nothing in the way that would obstruct anyone from getting through. You know, all of those things. You know, I made sure all of that were, you know, everything was taken into consideration, and because of it, everything just went so much more smooth than expected. It literally went so much more smoother than expected, and I can't. To be fair, for me this week, that's what it really was to me. Like, just my management skills. I was just really just making sure that everything was in the right place in the right time. No, really. To be fair, that's mainly it, really. Yeah.